Hi, this is my submission for the Melee Implement Gauge and Ping API challenge. So this challenge, for this challenge, what I have done is I have retrieved the list of all the Gauge records and a specific Gauge record, and also when someone issued a ping request, I retrieved the counts, the alert counts, the recommendation counts. So if you look at the requirements, there isn't like a lot of details in the requirements, but go to the forums to make sure that you browse through all the forums and understand the requirements. So let me start by doing the retrieve a gauge and list all gauges. So there is no uh, gauge custom object per se. So we are using an object called energy data to retrieve the gauges. So every energy data has like a data center, external ID, and gauge energy, which is a JSON representation of the gauge. So there are a few loopholes in this one basically. When you put in like the JSON representation of the complete gauge, they said that the ID would be the ID of the energy record. So when you create a new record, you will not have that ID, so you cannot put in like the ID of it. It's the same thing with the data center as well. So what I did was, even though you did not put the ID and the data center ID, and you just need to create a JSON structure without them, like this: ID is equal to null or data center ID is equal to null, or you can probably take them away. And then also the type. So there is also type electricity. So what you need to do is you just create like I would say like a template JSON structure for the ID, data center ID, and the type, which are present on the real object, the energy data object, and just put it on the gauge energy. Rest of the values must be the real values, because that's what I'll be sending. But these values will be pulled during the request. Uh, we create this record and you save it. So let me go to the workbench and I'll explain you what I'm talking about. So let's pull the gauge. So I'm using the workbench, as you see. All you have to do is like gauges and then the gauge ID and execute. So it's going to return you the gauge record, right? So let's see. So well, these are all escapes. So the ID, you can see that the ID is the energy record ID. The data center ID is also pulled from the this energy data record, like the Boston data center. That's what it is. The type is also pulled from this one. So you have a type object, so type field. So you'll be pulling the type from default. So but the rest of the values are just passed in the same way they are defined in the JSON. So that's a retrieve a single gauge, or you can retrieve the list of gauges by just using gauges, and it gives you everything like list of all the gauges or the energy data records. So it gives you everything. You can do a filter by using a type, default, or the data center ID. Let's see. That's the data center ID, and that's basically it. So that's these requirements: retrieve a single gauge and list all gauges. And the third one is issue a ping request, which is kind of interesting because it has nothing to do with the energy data or the gauges. So issuing a ping request is counting the number of observation records. So there is a custom object called observation. So issue a ping request is basically to count these observation records, which have a record type of either recommendation or alert, and which has the assets or the spaces that a current user is following. make sure that you look at the comment section to exactly know the requirements. So, so if you look at the code, let me see. So what I'm doing is I'm using the entity subscription object to get the assets and the spaces that I am following, and then I'm doing a count from the observation where the record type is basically the alert, and where I am following either the assets or the spaces. And there's also a date time parameter to it. So when you add like the date time, it pulls everything from the data. And for the chatter feed, so we have like three things that we send, right? So alert count, recommendation count, and chat account. I'm using the connect API to get all the news feeds for the logged in user. So let's do a ping. So you see that you have a recommendation count 1, charter count 2, alert count 1. That's basically the observation records and the charter feed and the observation records for a record type alert. If I do like a date time, so you can see that I put in like a current date, like date time, and it says nothing. Let's go one day back, or so we have like chat account 2 for this date, and the datetime format must be YYMMDDT. This is like the format that is present in the ping API documentation, so make sure that you use this format. And that's basically it. So those are all the requirements. I hope you like my submission. Thank you. Bye bye.